Welcome back to The Woman Factor. Tonight, I'm joined by Miss Eloise Collins, the founder and executive director of Liberty Dwelling, Shea Cox, the executive director of Liberty Dwelling, Blanca Robinson, the executive coach, business strategist, and president of Viva Consulting Group, as well as Miss Tamaria Hawkins, aka Minister Tam, who is a reverend and spiritual coach. And they're here to talk about Liberty Dwelling, which is a nonprofit organization. So again, Miss Eloise, do you just want to fill the viewers in on what is Liberty Dwelling?
Okay, Liberty Dwelling is a nonprofit organization which provides a home and more than a home for the young adults who age out of the foster care system. The problem is after they age out from the state care, 1 in 5 become homeless. Studies shows that. Okay, so that gap, we are planning to capture that gap to help them, to support them, to become productive citizens of Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes. So that's where Liberty Dwelling comes in.
Awesome. And so I know, Miss Blanca, you're not actually a part of the Liberty Dwelling team, but you are here to help them. So, you know, what experience do you have that can really help Liberty Dwelling take off?
Oh, quite a bit. Actually, I ran a nonprofit organization in New Orleans for 17 and a half years. And when I started with it, it was in its infancy still, very much a fledgling organization. So I know very well the challenges that they have in funding, just creating awareness within the community of what the organization does. When I met Eloise at a chamber function, I think it was about a year or so ago, she was telling me about her nonprofit, and I was very, it touched me as the letter did to all of us, and so I offered in any way that I could help. And then, just time went on, and Shea I've known for quite a few years, and when she came on as executive director for Liberty Dwelling, she reached out to me and asked if we could get together because she wanted to pick my brain, and that's kind of how it got started. We met a few weeks ago, and Eloise happened to be there, and so I offered my services to help them in any way, just to develop some growth strategies and outline a plan on what it is that they need to do. Because as Shea mentioned, they've gotten all of the legal structure and all of the to-dos just to make the home functional.
Right.
Now it's a matter of where are we going to get the money, or where are they getting the money to run the organization, and how are they going to create awareness of the within the community of what Liberty Dwelling can do. So that's how I will lend all of my expertise and anything that I can to help them succeed.
Right. And so I know that Minister Tam, you're going to be speaking at the Taste of Jamaica event. So just, a little background on you. What led you to be a minister?
Well, I've always had I guess a lot of people would say I'm old people children. That's what the older people would say. And they would always say that I had an old soul. And so I would always feel something. It was just a feeling that came upon me. And then one day I heard the voice of God, and he was calling me to reach out to his people. And so from a young girl, I've always had the drive, always had the motivation to want to help out in the community, to always worked in the church from young, doing things in the church. And I was in the Caribbean in school. I was in medical school in the Caribbean. And this was a tough time for me, being away from my family and then having some trials that I was going through. And so there is where I really came into worship with God and learned how to worship and to hear from him. And so at that point is when I really became centered, and then ministry called me. And at that point I learned how to pray. We say we pray, but it's a difference in prayer. And so when you reach God and God hears you and he answers your prayer. And so that's what it was for me. And so I learned how to academia and all of my vocation and everything that I wanted. I learned how to take that and to be an ambassador for Christ.
And so now, how did you hear about this event?
Well, Eloise and I used to work together at Magnolia Family Services. And so when she called me, she texted me actually, and I got a text. It was late at night, and I read it, and I said, well, I can't turn Eloise down. But no, and I knew when I read about it, and this is a vision that she's been having. God gave this to her a while ago. And so on that vision, I know that it's ordained by God. And so when you know that something is ordained by God, you cannot say no to that, because then you'll be saying no to God. And so when that happened, I immediately said absolutely, and whatever I need to do, I'll do it to make it happen.
And so now, where do you reside? Like, what church is your home ground?
Well, actually, I am still based in New Iberia. I'm a member of the Mount Calvary Baptist Church, and my pastor is actually from home. I'm Pastor Mark Lewis. He's from here. But I live in Atlanta now, Atlanta, Georgia. I live in Atlanta now, and I work at Emory University, but I still come back and forth. And so my heart is here in this community where I grew up, and, you know, I just want to help the community.
It's hard to get away from this place.
It is.
It is. They just always have a piece of your heart. And so now, why should people come out and listen to you? You know, what insight can you give them to support this?
As I stated previously, we have to come to understand that it takes finances. It takes finances, and we can't do anything without money. You know, and a lot of people, they donate their time, and that's wonderful. We want your time, but in order to be able to give your time, we have to have a building. We have to have lights. You have to have water. In order for the housing has to come up. And then I heard Eloise and Shea say earlier, you know, so it was 11 children came. They only have 4 spaces. So we can't turn children around. So what can we do at this point? So I want them to come find out about the touch of the master's hand. Because once the master touch you, you won't have a problem with digging deep into your pockets and writing those checks, because then you will be able to understand that when you sow a seed into fertile ground, you're going to reap more than that check that you wrote. And I'm saying this because I want people to understand that it's a fundraiser. Yes, it is a fundraiser, but the fundraiser is not going into individual pockets. The fundraiser is going to help the children of the community, and that should speak volume in itself. And so that's what I want people to come out to get a good understanding of what this organization does, where your money going. A lot of people when I write out a check, I want to know where my money is going. And so you're going to find that out, and you're going to find out more about why you're sowing this seed. Because I want people to understand that this is a seed that they're sowing. This is just not a check that they're writing. They're sowing a seed. And so that's why they need to come out and hear the message, because God has something in store for them.
All right, and just to pull up that flyer again, I just want to make sure everybody attends this event.
Yes.
So it's going to be a Taste of Jamaica on Thursday, October 4th at 6:30 p.m. We'll get more from Minister Tamaria Hawkins, which you are fabulous. And we will have music provided by the Master of Ceremonies, DJ Rhett, who I'm sure everyone has heard of with his little famous Facebook self. And they're going to have a bunch of soul food from Jamaica, beverages, you know, wine, passion juice, rum punch, tea, water, coffee. There's also going to be a silent auction held. Tickets are going to be $60 per person, and it's going to be at the Municipal Auditorium. Again, that's on Thursday, October 4th at 6:30. If you want to find out more, you can go to info@libertydwelling.org or contact them at 985-262-8558. And, you know, ladies, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes, absolutely. Guys, we need silent auction items. If you want to donate something to Liberty Dwelling for our silent auction, that would be awesome. You can also find tickets, sponsor tables, and a donation button on our website, www.info@libertydwelling.org. So you can get your tickets there, or you can come to Liberty Dwelling and get tickets at Liberty Dwelling. We'll have those very, very soon. So
now, what type of items are you guys looking for?
any gift baskets, travel.
Gift cards.
Yeah, gift cards to anything, or your organization. If your organization has something in particular that y'all produce, we want that so we can put y'all on blast as well.
And now, where do they find you guys to donate this stuff? They have to go to the website? Do you guys have a Facebook page?
We have a physical address as well. We're at 7705 Park Avenue, downtown Houma.
Okay, so that's 7705 Park Avenue in downtown Houma. So if you guys want to donate, you know, this is a great cause, and I love what you ladies are doing. I think it's really important that our youth gets, that foot in the door, and just, to think about somebody could write a check one day and then be at work and have a new hire that's this amazing person, and then come to find out, they wrote that check that went to Liberty Dwelling that helped this person get what they needed.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys so much for coming on. I hope you guys have a great turnout. I'll definitely try and be there. Super
Looking forward to see
excited.
you.
And so thank y'all again, and don't go
Thank
away.
you.
We've got more on the Woman Factor.